students, welcome back again. Another video of the series we have started for taxation. So last video you have seen on different topics like tax base, tax rate and tax amount. So based on that knowledge, I have brought related concept of taxation regime. The word regime means system. You can also say different types of taxation system. So here in the screen you can see I have written three types of taxation regime here: proportional, progressive and regressive. Okay, now this knowledge we will gain by our previous knowledge of the earlier video on tax base, tax rate and tax amount. Okay, now what we know about tax base? Tax base is your income. Tax rate is the percentage of income that you give away as tax. Tax amount, it is the actual amount that you have paid as tax. Now, what is this proportional taxation regime? Proportional means what? That the increase will be equivalent. It will be proportional. We say, for example, if your income is 1 lakh, your tax rate is say 5%. Okay, your income is 1 lakh and your tax base is 5%. That means your tax amount is 5,000, is rupees 5,000. Now what happens in proportional taxation regime, whether your tax base increases or decreases, the tax rate will not increase or decrease, it will remain same. So for example, your income or tax base has increased to 2 lakh rupees, but the tax rate will remain same, that is 5%, but the tax amount will mathematically increase, that is rupees 10,000. So with the increase or decrease in tax base, the tax rate is constant. So here the tax rate is constant. So this type of taxation system is known as proportional taxation. Now let's see what do we mean by a progressive tax. Progressive means what? Progressive means to increase, to move forward. So what happens here? If the tax base is increased, say your income was 1 lakh, when your income was 1 lakh, your tax base was 5%, your tax amount was 5,000. But your income has now increased, say 3 lakh rupees. So what will happen? Your tax rate will also increase. And how much increase, that depends upon the government. I am just giving an hypothetical example. So 5% from 5% government, the government had decided कि if you touch or exceed 3 lakh rupees, you have to pay 10% of your tax. All right. Say it will be say uh, 30,000 you have to pay as tax if your income is 3 lakh. So what happened? With the increase in tax base, there is an increase in tax rate also. All right. So this type of taxation is known as progressive taxation regime. Now, what happens in regressive system? It will be the opposite of progressive. If your income has increased, your tax rate will decrease. If your income has increased, your tax rate will decrease. If your income has decreased, your tax rate will increase. Okay. Now this might be very puzzling. Okay, why any government will have this type of taxation regime? Actually, it is something indirect, which is something not straight. What happens? Ki suppose I am giving you an example. Suppose two friends, say A and B, they went to shopping. A's income is 1 lakh and B's income is 3 lakh. A and B means, say coincidentally, A and B has done the shopping of exactly the same amount. So the tax that will be imposed on their shopping amount will also be same. Say suppose A has paid uh, 10,000 as tax, so B has also paid 10,000 of tax. Now, if you say how much, what is the tax rate? Ki how much percentage of the income A has given as tax? Because tax rate is the percentage of income that you have given. So that is 1 lakh, that is 10%. Now 10,000 of 3 lakh is definitely less than what? Less than 10%. So it will be definitely less than 10%. So what happened? Ki income has increased, but the tax rate is decreased, right? Around something 3.33%, something 3.33% will be the tax rate for B. So what happened? Income has increased, but the tax rate has decreased. So this type of taxation regime is regressive taxation regime. Now, what is this interesting fact? This progressive taxation system in India, it is followed by the direct tax. Okay, direct tax. So, for example, income tax. Ki as much as income you are earning, you have to pay under the more tax slabs. Regressive system is under the indirect tax. Suppose if we consider GST, GST is same for everyone. The person who is earning more will pay the same amount to GST. Similar, the person who is earning a less pay, right? Though their tax is same, but income tax base is less, tax base are different, so the tax rate will vary. Higher income is ultimately paying a lower tax, lower income will ultimately be paying a higher tax. So these are the three different taxation system that we can study. I hope this is clear. So this is all about the taxation regime: proportional, progressive and regressive.